Hey Keith, Jonathan Douglas is sending you stuff for me to sign. Please get it to me. I want to sign it.
I appreciate it.
My friends, and welcome to episode 165 of the Kiss Army Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Pasquale Vari.
And I am Claudio Spera. Welcome to the show, everyone. Our guest tonight is someone who really has the 70s under his skin. When I read his story on Stefan Frommann's book, it was clear that we had to reach out to our guest and explore deeper on his Kiss fandom. It is fair to say that maybe Gene Simmons wrote Man of Thousand Faces about him. So, ladies and gentlemen, from San Diego, let's welcome our friend, Jonathan Douglas. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Nice to be here.
Jonathan, I read your story in the book, man. It was so interesting. And when Claudio said we have you for the show, I was so excited to hear more about your story, because really, this is just like an introduction to your history, and we're looking forward to hearing so much more. So this is going to be so much fun. Looking forward to it. So, Jonathan, let's start from the beginning. So, how did it all start for you? How did you become aware of Kiss?
I became aware of Kiss probably in the early 80s. I had an older brother. He was 3 years older, and I remember when I was a little kid, he brought home the trading cards, the bubblegum cards, and I didn't really know who they were or what they were. I just thought it was super cool, and we started to collect them. And eventually, he was a little older, so he actually heard the music, and he liked the music. So we just went out and bought our first Kiss record with our allowance. And I think I got Hotter Than Hell for my first one, and he got Destroyer. And we, every week or every 2 weeks, we'd get probably $3 or so, which is probably almost enough to buy a record back then. So we would just take turns picking. So we would look at the covers, it's like, oh, this one looks really cool. I'm going to get that one next. And we just started going way down the line until we had everything. We just became obsessed. Just loved the music, loved the image.
Nice.
So we're talking 70?
No, these are in the 80s. Yeah,
the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, probably 82, 83.
Okay.
I was born just a little bit too late for the real good stuff,
Okay.
For the dream years. I just missed it.
So if you could get into a time machine and go back to the dream years, what would you like to experience?
The Love Gun era, for sure.
Yeah.
Just the height of it. I can't imagine just having, when I've been a fan, it's pretty much just been me as the fan. I didn't really have a lot of friends that were as obsessed as me. I didn't have any friends that were as obsessed as me. So I can't imagine everybody around me being so obsessed with Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just love to go back to like the Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park era. Just to be able to walk into a store and look at all the merchandise, buy all the stuff I want.
Exactly.
Get a job and buy all that. Yeah, it would have been incredible.
Yeah. I think we all have that dream of being when they were in the summit, 77, 78, where Kiss was everywhere. So that could have been a dream, definitely.
Yeah, I can't imagine. People were so lucky to be around at that time. I'm so jealous of people that were teenagers in the 70s.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jonathan, as many other Kiss fans, so we have many other passions, right? So, and one of yours, and we're gonna go into one of your, I guess, favorite topics, has to do with tattoos, right?
Yeah,
so,
I like tattoos.
So, when did you become, if I could say, addicted to tattoos, and how old were you when you got your first one?
I think I was 18 or 19. It's kind of a funny story. When I was 18 in high school, my friend and I just turned 18, and we're visiting his parents in Hollywood for spring break, and we both plan on getting tattoos. So we both saved about $100 because that's what it cost back then. So we were driving to Hollywood, and we got to the tattoo shop, and my friend ended up getting this really cool tattoo right here. I was planning on getting Gene Simmons spitting blood. That was my plan. And I totally wimped out. So like my friend got his tattoo and I was too afraid to get the tattoo. So I went home without the tattoo and he got the tattoo.
Okay.
So probably about a year later, I got my first one, probably about this big. And my artist said, if you go that big, you're going to have full sleeves one day. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, no, I don't want that. And eventually I'm almost fully covered. As soon as my back is done, I'm pretty much out of good spots.
Wow. Wow. And what did you get as your first one? What was it?
It was a gargoyle.
Okay.
Gene. Yeah, too bad. It was supposed to be Gene spitting blood, but I was too afraid at the time.
Okay.
I got a gargoyle like a year later, maybe.
So you basically you gave me the right pathway to the next question. So
Yeah.
being such a Kiss fan and being one of your passions, how does Kiss get into your fascination with tattoos?
With tattoos, I've always been obsessed with the poster. Just right behind you, the unmasked poster. That was always my favorite artwork, and I just thought it would be really cool to get that tattooed on my back. Originally, I asked my artist if he could do my whole back as that picture, just the fold out poster from the record, but he said that the faces would be way too stretched and it would look really weird. So he talked me into doing it just regular size.
Okay.
And it just looked incredible. And I'm trying to figure out what I could do under that. And then I thought my second favorite had always been the pinball machine, the art from the pinball machine. So that's what I'm working on now.
Okay. So that's your back. So let's say the upper portion of your body, that's the unmasked
that's the picture
poster.
that was in the book. Yeah, I try not to really put pictures out of the pinball until it's totally done, because once they're out there, they just spread like crazy. Like I didn't even put out that picture of my back to Kiss or to Gene Simmons. Like I sent it to a friend on Facebook, and probably about a week later, I got a text from somebody that Gene Simmons posted it, like saying thank you for getting this tattoo or something. Like I didn't send it to Kiss, but somebody sent it to Kiss online. I have no idea who did that.
Oh, that's so cool. Now speaking of Gene Simmons, so in the book, The Best Kiss of My Life, you tell the story of what happened when you met Gene in Las Vegas at the art gallery. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so he was doing an art gallery showing in Las Vegas. It was still around the time of the COVID restrictions, so there was a limited amount of spots available. I found out about it right away. I wrote them trying to get in. They said, you can come in, bring a friend or whatever. So I was on the reservation list. So when we went there was a very small crowd of people there. They probably only let like 15 to 20 people in total. Mm-hmm. Big art gallery, all of his paintings were hanging up. It was super cool just to be able to walk around, check out all of his work. And he was so available to the fans like I'd never seen before, because every other time that I have met him or tried to meet him, there's 200 people trying to get autographs, holding stuff up, sign this, let me get your picture. But he was so personable. It was really cool. I could easily talk to him for 20-30 minutes, just any question that I want. It's like people pay a lot of money for that, thousands of dollars to meet him and spend time with him. So it's so cool to do that for free. And when I said that I wanted to show him my tattoo, I just lifted up my back, and he was so cool about it. He just started grabbing me by the arm, taking me around to all these people, saying like, "Hey, did you see this guy's tattoo? Did you see this guy's tattoo?" He was doing that literally for like 20 to 30 minutes, just dragging me around the art gallery. It was surreal. Like it was so surreal. Like he took me over to his professional photographer, whoever that guy was at the time, to get my picture taken. But it was really unfinished when he saw it. Like the pinball machine, it was all just black ink. There was no color to it at all. So it was very unfinished, but he was really impressed with it and super nice to me.
Wow.
It was great. So I asked him, I had a copy of Love Gun that I had signed by Paul and Ace. And of course I really wanted to get it finished. So I just said, so Gene, like a dream of mine is to get this signed by all of you guys. And I was friends with Keith LaRoe, the photographer. Not really friends, just Facebook friends. I've never met him in my life. I just said, I'm friends with Keith on Facebook. Will you make this video for me right now? And just say like, Keith, Jonathan Douglas has some stuff for me to sign. If I get it to him, can you sign it? And he said, yeah, absolutely. So he made a video for me. I could probably up, making the video for me. Eventually I sent it to Keith. Keith never checked his Facebook like for months and months. I kept checking. He never looked at it. So I just kind of found a couple of friends who are like really big in the auction sites who knew Keith. One of them said, if you get him to me, I'll get him to him. So they ended up getting him to him. And eventually I got the surprise box full of like 5 Kiss records, like signed by Gene Simmons in the mail one day.
Wow.
Yeah. So cool. Dream come true. And I didn't have to pay $5,000.
That's awesome.
Like some people.
That's awesome.
That's you guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
Jonathan, how far along are you with the pinball machine tattoo?
I'm probably 85%, like 80%, 85%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very close. I can send you guys pictures, like I'll
Yeah,
email
that could be
you, just so
awesome.
yeah, just so you don't put it out, because I
No, no,
don't
no.
really want it out until it's like done.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's cool.
It's looking good.
Now I gotta tell you, I remember getting my first Kiss tattoo. It's basically the logo.
Yeah.
And then I got the logo signed by Paul Stanley and got that tattooed. And people told me,
On your
oh,
arm?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I see it now.
So people were telling me, Pask, you get one tattoo, it's not gonna end. You're gonna start filling up your entire body. I haven't done anything else. I just got those two tattoos. I'm tattoo free besides that. But
Well,
for
looks like
you
spent the rest. You probably
Yeah.
spent the rest on your collection, right?
That's right. Exactly. But for you,
Yeah.
with the unmasked and the pinball tattoo, does it end there, or do you plan on getting more Kiss tattoos?
No, I think I'm done. I'm honestly at a good space. My arms are completely done. And the thing that sucks about your back is you can't see it. Like
Yeah.
it's such an incredible tattoo, and I have to look behind me in the mirror in the most awkward way to ever see it. So I think I'm done. I'll spend my money on other stuff. It's very expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get both tattoos from the same artist?
Yeah, same artist, really good friend of mine.
Okay.
I was telling the story in the book, if you guys remember, his sister used to date the guitar player from Billy Idol when Billy Idol was just coming out in New York, and they were managed by Bill Aucoin at the time. So through that, through that connection, he was able to go to the Palladium show with Eric Carr. He got to go backstage, meet the whole band.
Oh wow, he was
My
there.
tattoo artist, yeah. So he has like a really cool Kiss story of his own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Jonathan, let's try to go a little bit deeper into your fandom and find some another side of your interesting story. So you started playing guitar when you were in fifth grade, as you say in the book, and then what are some of your biggest influences as a musician? Let's stay away from Kiss for a while. So what about music? So what are your biggest influences?
Well, influences, I mean, to start it definitely was Ace Frehley. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I was just completely obsessed. And I think as a musician, his stuff is easy enough to play when you're learning how to play guitar. So it's a really good starting point if you want to play music. The Ace's stuff isn't too hard to play. So it started with that. Then in the 80s, glam rock got popular. So I got really into glam rock and stuff like that. And it progressed into different styles as I got older. Everything from heavy metal to like Duran Duran style. But it all started with classic rock, Kiss, Alice Cooper, stuff like that.
Okay. And what's your opinion on some of the other guitar players the different lineups, like Vinnie Vincent and then Bruce Kulick? Yeah. So are those guys in your top favorite Kiss?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. Vinnie Vincent's playing to me as a guitar player is incredible. Like he's a shredder and there's a lot of notes going on, but even if he just hits just one note and he lets it ring out in a certain way, it's him doing it. Like nobody hits a note like Vinny.
Yeah, he's very unique. That's true.
I'm a huge fan of his. Of course, Bruce he plays with so much harmony. Such a nice guy too. Like all of his solos are super catchy. Tommy is like a lead player. Like his leads really aren't memorable to me. Like anything on the last two records that came out, like Monster or Sonic Boom. Yeah, like him as a lead guitar player, he plays well and everything, but his playing really isn't very memorable to me as far as writing.
Okay.
Super nice guy though. Like when I met him, he was super cool. He did a great job filling in for Ace.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for him because I don't think Ace is playing well these days at all.
Yeah. And then speaking of playing with bands and stuff, you later joined a San Diego tribute band called Kissed Alive. So can you tell us about that?
I just had the idea. I thought it would be fun and took a long time searching for people, the right people. It's really hard to start because you have to be committed, because you want to put the show on. You have to pay for costumes. You have to pay for special instruments, like, the light up sign. It honestly took about 2 years just to get it off the ground.
Okay.
Thousands of dollars. So yeah, it was very, very time consuming, super expensive. It was fun, but it was also very exhausting. It's a lot of work. It would take several hours just to get ready, just for one show.
Yeah. So you were Ace in that band?
Yeah, I was Ace in that band.
Okay. Okay.
Remember, I think the thing that I got burned out on was we played Vegas for 3 nights in a row, and it was exhausting because we would do 2 shows every night,
Oof.
like 2 separate 1-hour shows, and it was just very exhausting, and I just kind
Wow.
of got burned out on it. I think I did too much too fast, like when it came to playing shows.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like we ended up sending a guitar cross country to make it a smoking guitar. I sent it to this. There's a service on eBay. This guy will turn any guitar into a smoking guitar.
Oh, really? Okay.
So he sends you the kit. He sends you directions on like how to
install it.
Basically, like gunpowder that you're putting in there.
Okay.
You know, and like how to light it and everything. So it was pretty interesting.
Wow. And
Yeah.
it worked.
It worked half the time, and it was pretty when it didn't work. It was so disappointing. Like in Vegas, like pressing the button on my guitar because it's one of the tone knobs. You just press it down, and it's supposed to light, and it didn't light. So
it didn't. Oh my
that was disappointing because like people in the audience, some people were expecting it, and it wasn't lighting, so I just kept playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you still playing, Jonathan? Do you have a band or something?
No, I mean just alone at home. It's not as exciting anymore. Not in a band. I'd like to. Yeah, but nothing as involved as the Kiss tribute band was. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, okay.
I'd rather just honestly play like unmasked kind of stuff, just with friends that like the same music.
Mm-hmm. You know, as Kiss fans, we find so many different ways to express our passions for the band. And you were saying how exhausted you were playing in your tribute band. Were you doing that as a passion? And did you lose that passion with the band because of all the work that went into it?
I don't think I lost the passion. I didn't lose the passion for the music. I just lost the passion for, and it was also the older you get, the more shows you play. Like a lot of the people that are there, they're just out drinking in the audience. And I just kind of felt like I was playing in front of a bunch of drunk meatheads. You know, like I remember the first gig with the band that we did, when it came time for the Detroit Rock City solo, you know, the Paul and I started playing that, and then these 2 drunk idiots got up on stage and they're doing air guitar next to us. We're in the 6-inch boots, you know, which you almost break your ankle in anyways. Like it's super hard to walk in. Then you have these drunk morons up on stage trying to do air guitar in front of you. I felt like that was kind of the audience I was playing in front of, so that kind of soured things a little bit for me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of passions, are you also into collecting?
Not as much as I used to be. I think the older I get, like I had a massive Kiss collection at one time. Like ever since I was a kid, anything I could get my hands on, I would just buy. Like every job I ever had, like every penny always went into buying something. You know, in the late 80s, 90s, stuff like that. And I ended up having to sell it because I had a classic car in high school that was breaking down all the time. And I didn't have a good paying job. So I ended up selling my whole Kiss collection at that time.
Okay.
And over the years, pretty much all I collect now is vinyl and art, like posters, art, and vinyl, because I love listening to vinyl. And I still love my posters and stuff. But as far as like just things that sit on a shelf, not as much as I used to.
So what would you say is your favorite item that you have now?
Favorite item that I have right now would be probably this poster back here. I'll show you right here.
Oh, the Japan?
Yeah, that was actually
nice.
That's from the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. So when my wife and I went there to get married to Las Vegas, like 12 years ago, they ended up giving us a suite at the Hard Rock. And just by chance, it was the Kiss suite. And they had this really cool Kiss artwork in it. And, you know, I was joking, like, oh, I want to steal that. You know, of course you can, it's massive, and I wouldn't do something like that anyways. But years later, I ended up going to a pawn shop in Las Vegas. You know, the famous Pawn Stars TV show?
Yeah.
So, and I walk in there, like, lo and behold, that thing is sitting in there.
No kidding.
Wow.
So when the Hard Rock closed in Las Vegas, they bought all the artwork from it. So I was actually able to purchase the same thing that was in the room. Like the
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it's special to me.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
That's probably my favorite piece. That or my Unmasked poster, because that's my favorite record.
Nice.
And you were talking about vinyls. So just briefly, what's your opinion on the box sets? And you know, I know that there's no vinyls there, but you know, of the soundboard and stuff that has been released recently. Do you like them? Are you into that kind of stuff? Would you like to see more boxes coming up?
Yeah. The boxes were super cool, but I was honestly more into it for the music instead of all the stuff it came with. You know, like the Creatures box set and the Destroyer box set. They're super cool. It's really cool to read the books and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really care so much about the knickknacks, but I loved hearing all the extra music.
Okay.
Yeah, especially like the B-sides from Creatures that nobody had ever heard before.
Yeah.
Some stuff that was going to come out on Lick It Up and stuff. Like I didn't know, what was it, Young and Innocent or Young and Wasted or something? That Paul was singing. Like that was cool. Super cool. Yeah.
So Jonathan, so getting even deeper on your Kiss story. So when did you attend your first Kiss show?
First one was the Asylum tour in Portland, Oregon, with Wasp as an opener. I was in 4th grade. And my memory of that is I remember Blackie Lawless used to drink blood from a skull, the singer from Wasp.
Yeah.
And I remember I was having nightmares before the concert for like a week thinking I was going to see Blackie drink blood from the skull. So I was really scared about that. And I do remember we had really bad seats. They're up super high. And there was a law in Oregon that you can't have any pyrotechnics at concerts. At least there was in the 80s. So like the Kiss show had zero fire, 0 explosions. And I didn't get to see Gene blow fire that night. And I do remember like leaning on my mom on the way out crying because I didn't get to see Gene Simmons breathe fire that night. So that's my first Kiss concert memory.
Okay. And Claudio mentioned vinyl. So what would you say is your favorite Kiss record? I know it's Unmasked, right?
Yeah, it changes. I mean, I love Unmasked. I tend to like the ones that other people don't like. Like my favorite Kiss records are probably Carnival of Souls. I love that record so much.
Really? Oh wow, that's interesting.
The Elder and Unmasked. Like those are my favorite Kiss records, and those are usually people's 3 bottom.
Oh, so it's the Underdog albums that you like.
Kind of. I mean, minus Monster and Sonic Boom. I wasn't too much of a fan of those 2.
So what is it about those 3 albums that you love so much?
They're just so different from each other, you know? The mood is so different from The Elder. The production on it is so interesting. Like to me, it's just very epic what he did with that record, what the producer Bob Ezrin did with it. It's just a different mood. I love the pop songs of Unmasked, totally poppy, and I also love the heaviness of Carnival of Souls because it's very dark too, which I love. Like to me, it's like a whole record of unholies.
Yeah.
You know? So I wish that I could have gotten more like that, like that they would have done more records like that, but
Speaking, what would you say is your favorite song in the entire catalog?
probably Is That You?
Okay.
Which wasn't even written by them, but
Yeah.
I love it. It's just such a cool, catchy song to me. It's one of my favorites.
In the book, you tell an interesting story about that song, right? So that's why it's your favorite?
I don't know if that's why it's my favorite, but yeah, it was kind of an interesting story. I was in a different band in San Diego, and it was kind of like a dance rock band, kind of Duran Duran style. And we were playing a lot of gigs. We always headlined the shows, and we had an opener that night. And the opener, I'm trying to remember the guy's name that wrote it, but he was the one that did the soundtrack to the Lost Boys. The song, I'm trying to remember the popular song from it. Gerald McCone, I think, was the writer of it, but he opened for us that night, and I just knew him from that old 80s movie, The Lost Boys, you know, and we watched the show. He came up and, you know, said that he liked our music a lot afterwards and everything, and I didn't realize that that's the guy that wrote my favorite Kiss song. So in hindsight, I really wish that I could have talked to him about it, because I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to meet him again, you know, let alone like him complimenting our music was super cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's so amazing. And what would you say is your favorite lineup?
The original. Yeah, can't beat it. I like all the lineups, but that's definitely my favorite. You can't beat it.
So you talked about, you know, Gene kind of walking with you, showing everybody your tattoo there. So
yeah.
So I guess we all agree that you know, meeting the members of the band is always something that we dream of, right? So have you had the chance to meet, besides Gene on that special occasion, have you had the chance to meet some of the other bands of the band and the other members?
I met the majority of them. I met Tommy. There was actually a tribute contest. It was a Kiss tribute band contest. It was an international contest in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock. So all these bands from around the world submitted their videos of them playing, and they chose what they thought were the best 4 bands to compete for the title of the best tribute bands. Tommy was the judge for that, which was kind of funny since he started in the tribute band. So I got to talk to him as I was watching. Like another guy in the book was actually in one of those bands, Zoltan.
Okay.
You know, from the book, I'm sure you know his story, but his band actually performed that night. So it was really cool to be able to see them. I thought they were great. I thought they probably should have won it, but they didn't. They lost out to the American band called Mr. Speed that you guys probably know. Yeah, they're good, but I thought the other band was better. I thought Zoltan's band was better. So Tommy was super nice that night. I've met Bruce. He was doing a Marshall amp guitar clinic during the Revenge era.
Oh, wow.
So it's just in a guitar store. He was very nice. I remember I was asking him why they didn't have any guitar tablature books to any of his records, you know, and he was saying, I honestly don't know. I wish that I knew, but there are none, you know, only in Japan at the time. The other guys like Paul, I've met him several times over the years, but it's just at like book signings and stuff like that. He was always very nice. Same thing with Ace. I met him at a book signing. One kind of interesting story, I haven't met Peter, but when I was 16 or 17, too young to get into the concert. So he was coming to Seattle Little Club for, you know, when he put out the Criss record, when he had the blonde hair, like it was kind of his hard rock record.
Yeah.
So I had made something in high school in stained glass class. I sandblasted all of the faces from the solo records into stained glass. And I wanted to try to go there and see if I could meet Peter before the show, since I couldn't get in, to see if he would sign it for me. So I was down there, I had my stained glass and everything, and I was meeting all these cool Kiss fans. They're all quite a bit older than me. Like they normally were, just because I was kind of one of the younger Kiss fans at the time. Talking to everybody in line, and eventually these guys were saying, what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to distract the bouncer. So when it comes time for you to go in, we're going to try to tell the bouncer to look over here so you can go into the concert. So they ended up distracting the bouncer, and I made my move real quick, and I like ran towards the door, and I was able to get in. I paid my money, you know, went in. I probably had like a beer or something at the bar trying to fit in. I got to watch the Criss show, which was super cool. But the thing about meeting Peter Criss, I almost had the chance to drive him there to the concert, and I didn't realize. The manager of Criss came out before the show, and he said, does anybody have a big vehicle? Like, does anybody have a big truck or anything? And I had borrowed my mom's big truck that night to go to the concert. And he was saying something like, there's the guitar player and the bass player need a ride. Like they're at the hotel still and their car broke down or something like that. And I didn't really want anything to do with it. I just wanted to hang there and see if I could meet Peter. Turns out the guy that said yes ended up getting to drive Peter Criss to the concert.
No,
there was some kind of problem, and he told me the whole story. Like Peter was in the car, and he told the guy not to take the long way, and he opened up his jacket and he flashed a gun. Like he ended up showing a gun to the guy, you know, saying, yeah, just like, please take me there, don't take any long ways. And he was also saying we can't listen to any heavy metal on the way. So the guy ended up choosing the Beatles, and they listened to the Beatles on the concert. So I almost had the chance to drive Peter to his own concert, but I screwed up.
What a story.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, that guy was lucky.
Hey, Jonathan, and who's your favorite member and why?
Probably Gene. I've just always been obsessed. Yeah, just with his demon persona. I just love his personality. I've always loved Gene. I think he's just beyond intelligent. He's beyond super talented, you know, really smart. I just went to he just did a podcast with Steve-O probably like a month ago.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys watched that, or do you guys know who Steve-O is from Jackass?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he just went up to his he just did one at his restaurant up in LA, so I went up there trying to meet him for that, and it was just night and day difference from when I got to meet him at the art gallery, you know, because there was like 10 or 15 of us and he was so accessible. And when I went here, he was just getting mobbed. I ended up, speaking of Chris Hoffman, I ended up bringing 3 Chris Hoffman prints with me, hoping he would sign them, you know, but he was just getting mobbed. I didn't have a chance to get anywhere near him.
Okay.
I thought about like lifting my shirt up, like, you know, like my back, just to try to make my way over, but it just didn't feel like the right time or place.
Yeah.
I just came home empty-handed that day.
Completely different to the other experience that you had, huh?
Very different. I feel very blessed it happened. It'll probably never happen again.
Yeah.
I'll definitely send you guys the video.
Yeah, please do.
No, it's really clear that you've had so many Kiss-related experiences because of your passion for the band. What would you say is your most memorable moment as a Kiss fan?
Well, it's definitely for the reunion tour. Like at the time, I never got to see him in the glory days, so it always been a dream of mine. Like maybe I'll see him someday, maybe they'll reunite. I didn't think it would happen, but I worked at Ticketmaster at the time that it did happen, and I didn't have my own credit card because I was probably like 18 years old or something, 19 years old. So I was working at the phone center at Ticketmaster the day that it went on sale, and I'm supposed to be helping people on the phone. You know, the very first caller is going to get the best tickets, right?
Get the tickets.
But before the internet. So this poor person that was the first caller, I pressed the hold button on them, I took my mom's credit card and started typing everything in. And I ended up getting second row center for Portland.
Nice.
And then I got like 10 rows back in Tacoma, Washington. So to me, the biggest memory was being second row center, seeing the black curtain and seeing Gene Simmons in the Love Gun costume through the black curtain right before the show. Like I had my first panic attack. I just like literally freaked out.
Wow.
You know, I couldn't stop breathing heavy, and like it was kind of an out of body experience.
The reunion tour was quite something, for fans like us, who had never seen, the original lineup. Back then, it's like it's the fantasy comes true. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was the best of the times.
Oh, it makes me think. It makes me reflect and look back. We are never going to see that curtain in front of us again, and hear that hum and that curtain go down with the bombastic explosions. A huge part of our life is behind us now. Oh my God. It's like that curtain experience is only second to the concert, because the excitement that brings, you see that curtain come down with that KISS logo. Just incredible.
I know, it's been a weird year, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it really is. Really is. We're sort of like in limbo. It's what's going to happen? Nothing's happening right now. Nothing's really being released,
Yeah, it's not as exciting to like go online or anything anymore. Like, since I can't really follow them anymore, it's definitely a different feeling in life.
There's so many times where we told ourselves, oh, it's a great time to be a KISS fan. It's not that time now. these past 6 months, it's like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, during the time of the band, there's so many different types of KISS fans. And people always say, I've gone to all the KISS cruises. I have all the merchandise. I've met them so many times. I'm a KISS fan. I'm a true KISS fan. I'm a real KISS fan. For you, what do you consider a KISS fan? How do you consider yourself as a KISS fan?
Just somebody who was obsessed with them growing up. Just they added so much to my life, I think that they gave me an exciting childhood, honestly. I was just always obsessing over their music, dreaming of different stage sets they had and what they're going to do next. To me, it gave me a really exciting upbringing. I'm very thankful for it. Glad I found it.
I've said it 1,000 times on this show. KISS has given us so many opportunities for once-in-a-lifetime experiences. How many people can say that,
I met some really cool people through it, too. Like
exactly.
Just through some of the Facebook fan groups, and just like I was kind of in the KISS raffling Facebook thing for a couple of years. I just met a couple of really good friends. I'm really thankful that I met through the band.
Jonathan, just I just wanted to kind of go a little bit off script here, but did you have the chance to go to the last 2 shows in New York?
I was at the very last show in New York, yeah.
And what do you think about it?
Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought they would do something a little bit more special.
Okay.
It was really the exact same show, and I don't know. It's just I honestly enjoyed the first time I saw them on the tour more than I did that night, the last night. It was really sad, I mean, just like once Beth started playing, that's when it really kicked in, and then it's almost over.
True.
But I think just being there in New York, that was the exciting part. Just like what they did in the city and seeing so many exciting fans and everything. That to me was cooler than the concert itself.
Yeah, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Were you guys there too?
Oh, yeah. We were there. So we drove all the way past Canai, and then we met a lot of people there. We drove from Montreal, and but the conclusion was that actually the weekend was the best thing. The show, it was kind of secondary now. It's
I agree.
Too special.
Jonathan, did you participate in the KISS scavenger hunt?
No, not really. I didn't participate in any of that. My back was kind of hurting me at the time, so I didn't do it. I mean, I walked around and saw some of the sights and everything, but I had to also rest because I was having kind of a bad back week that week. So yeah, it was awesome. I'm really glad I got to do it. I was really lucky too, because my wife was helping me try to get a ticket. We were both typing all the stuff in at the same time, and I ended up getting like it said second row, but it was literally like right to the stage on the right hand side. It truly was the first row, like the way that it was. I was just like, I was so close.
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel very fortunate to have gotten that particular ticket, probably just because it was a single ticket, so it was easier to find one.
Wow, that's awesome.
Instead of a pair so close.
Wow. And I don't want to stretch it too much on this last show, but we just want to know what's your opinion. What was your reaction when you saw the end of the show? The avatars and stuff.
I thought it was corny, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't excited about it in any means. I was hoping that it would be they would do something more sentimental, kind of thank the fans. But I know that Paul just wanted to just say that there's more to come. And to me, not many people are very excited about that.
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll be cool when it does happen, but it's 7 years away.
Yeah.
It wasn't very exciting to see that.
No, the timing, to launch that kind of stuff wasn't the best. I guess we'll agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
So one final question before we close the recording on this episode. So what does KISS mean to you? Basically, what Pasco was asking you before. And we're interested to know, how will you keep the flame alive now that the band is not touring anymore? What was your way of kind of celebrating, being a KISS fan? And are you planning to do something next?
I just blast my vinyl. I just got some good speakers. Just turn it up loud, until the neighbors complain. Yeah, just keep playing it. Just keep watching the videos. Just reliving memories, I guess, in my head. Every song that you hear, you'll have that first memory of. So I guess to me, it's more of remembering the past than looking towards the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jonathan, I got to tell you that, I heard about all the people that were trying to get into this book, how many fans submitted their stories. Really? Oh, yeah, I heard it was like over 200 submissions for this book. Yeah. And you were one of the few that was chosen. And, we could definitely see why you were chosen for this book. Your story is unique. You're a person with deep passions for the band, really well-spoken. To me, and I think to KISS fans, you are the true definition of what it means to be a KISS fan. So good job, great story, and thank you so much for being on the show and giving us more detail into your fandom.
It's been fun to talk to you guys. It's awesome to be in that book too. It's such a great book.
Yeah.
It is.
Really enjoyed it. Everybody's so cool.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan. So I'm going to echo basically what Bas was saying. Such a pleasure to have you and getting to know you more. And who knows, maybe in the near future or medium-term future, who knows if we're going to cross paths, in the US or something, some special event. But it would be great to meet you. And thank you so much.
John 5 museum, right?
Yeah.
When John 5 opens his museum, hopefully I'll see you guys there.
There you go. Yeah. It would be nice
to see you guys too.
You live in San Diego, one of my favorite cities, man. So I definitely want to go back. I need an excuse to go back.
Email me if you come. I'll show you some good food.
Oh, fantastic.
There you go.
So to the KISS Army, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please send them to talktome@kissarmynationpodcast.com. Until the next time, remember, never stop rocking. Take care, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can watch us on YouTube or listen to us on Podomatic, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. This is about you, so please like and subscribe to support the amazing guests we have on the show. See you soon, KISS Army.